Hello everyone, Bree Carroll here, back with another installation of this Moving and Marriage series. So I am so grateful that you are joining me here again as I share tips from our recent PCS that I hope will help you continue to stay strong in your military marriage. So today's tip, I'm gonna just go straight out the gate with it. It is all about competition. I know that's probably not what you were expecting, but yes, it is a competition. My tip for you as you PCS in your move is to compete with one another and see who can outserve the other person. I'll say it again. I want you to have a friendly competition to see who can outserve the other person as you PCS. Now you may be thinking, Bree, why would I be trying to compete in this way? Well, I'll tell you. When you're competing to outserve your spouse, you find out that you start to cultivate an atmosphere where everyone is serving one another. Trying to one up and serve the other person just continues to get the ball rolling in the right direction when it comes to your attitude and your intimacy as you PCS. So outserving another person for us looked like my husband. For example, like I mentioned, he had to go through some medical things. So what I would try to do is I would try to think ahead, like what are some things that he would need to have ready or out or in place or put to the side to make it really easy for him to still go to all his appointments, show up with his uniform, and just kind of make things a lot easier for him as we go through the pack up and PCS process. So that was one thing I was trying to think through. Or it may be for him, he knew that I like special little treats. One of my love languages is gift giving. So he would maybe bring a little drink home or a little treat home, being thoughtful and showing that he appreciated the things that I was doing. He would be outward in his communication and give me words of affirmation and tell other people how awesome I was being during the PCS. Trying to outserve one another. You get what I'm going with here? So I mentioned something and I don't want to skip over it. One of the things that we did as we tried to outserve one another is we operated by communicating in each other's love languages. That is hugely important. And if you have not checked out the 5 love languages, I highly encourage you pick up a copy and you find out what your love language is and what your spouse's love language is, because that is a great way to start when it comes to serving your spouse. You want to communicate and serve in a way that they really are excited to receive. So you got to know what that is. So one of the ways that we were able to serve one another, and I feel like I won. It's my series, so I'm going to say I won. He actually had to stay behind, or actually he helped us drive up to Barksdale, and then he had to go back to finish doing some things. And because he had to drive back to Minot, I was left to receive the U-Pack truck and unload it. So I feel like I won with the service because I was like, now I'm just here. I'm just going to do it. It's actually great, as I mentioned in another portion of the series, that asking for help is a whole thing. So we were very intentional about asking for help, having family and friends here, and in an effort to outserve one another, right? We did that in our relationship. We were trying to outserve one another when it came to our friends too, who helped us unpack. We wanted to make sure that they had drinks and beverages and food and all the things, treating them even after the fact, being there for them and showing up for them after the fact was really huge and something that we prioritized, because that heart to serve, other people are more willing to serve you in return. And one of the awesome things that happened was our friend group and the people who were here at the installation that we were coming to, they had the whole truck unloaded before my husband even came home, which made it so easy for him to just show up and kind of just help us go through the house and unpack the house, as opposed to being worried about trying to unpack the truck in the time frame that we needed to so that the truck could get picked up again. So competing to outserve one another looks amazing in your relationship. And you can also take this practice into your friend groups for other people who may be showing up to serve you. So one funny thing that I do have to put in here, it actually rained on Unpack Day. No kidding. It rained so much so that we had to be periodic, like dodge the time frames to where we unpack the truck. And let me just say, shout out to the weather app. We're going to like tag that or link that somewhere, anywhere, because it was so on point with telling us the time frames that it would start to rain in our particular area. That was so huge. So let me add that as a bonus tip to this episode. Utilize that app so that you can track the weather, because what we ended up doing is once we knew that the storm was passing, we knew exactly what times the couple of people who were there could unpack some things. And then we were strategic and we said, okay, the storm will pass by this time. The rest of the crew can come, and they actually were able to unload the truck, all because of the time frames that were given on this app. So shout out to the app. That's the bonus tip. Tip number 1, the overall tip, make sure you are competing to outserve your spouse or the people who are serving you. And the bonus tip, get this app because it was so clutch. So here is a rundown. I hope that you enjoyed these tips from our PCS move as we did a full ditty, and we still continue to grow our relationship. If these tips have been helpful to you, comment below, like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of the series that we do throughout this military life. Thank you for joining, and I can't wait to share more with you.
Me, I'm super fly, super duper fly, super duper fly. Me, I'm super fly, super duper fly, super duper fly. Me, I'm super fly, super duper fly, super duper fly. Me, I'm super fly. When the rain hits my window, I take it me some.